How I flirt with girls. Why should you listen to me? Well, because I've personally went through a crazy transformation, going from a shy introvert with very little experiences and success with women and a very small social circle to having amazing relationships and experiences with women and growing my social circle and even becoming friends with some of the top guys in the industry. By mastering my social skills, I was able to do all this, and it's from that experience that I'm teaching you these lessons today. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. So there's 2 underlying principles you want to keep in mind when you're flirting, and then there's 3 steps I want to go over. The first of the 2 major underlying principles is showing intent. In order to do this, you're going to have to unlearn a lot of the programming that you've gone through over the last 20 years of your life probably. This is programming from Hollywood, Disney, Nickelodeon, your parents, and all the other places where you've been given bad advice when it comes to dating. And you have to learn that it's okay to show intent, which means it's okay to show that you're romantically interested in a girl. You don't have to take this super indirect route of, hey, do you have the time on you by any chance? Or where's the closest Starbucks? There's so many bad pickup lines that I've heard that convey zero interest, zero intent. And the worst of all, it's just weird for the girl. Girls are very attuned to social situations. They've been hit on their entire lives. So when you go in with this whole fake facade of, oh yeah, do you have the time on you? Or do you know where the closest Starbucks is? That's such a red flag, because 1, it's not man to woman, so you're not showing that you have any balls by actually telling the girl you're interested in her or hinting at it. And number 2, it's a little bit threatening. Imagine some random guy just coming to you, asking you about the time, and then tries to build a conversation on that, not really telling you why he's there. So I would really advise against doing the indirect approach. If I go up to a girl, I'm immediately showing interest and intent in a non-platonic way. It doesn't need to be super weird or creepy. You could just say, hey, I was over there and I had to come over to you and say hi because you look cute. You know, it's simple as that. Obviously saying that with a smile, and that's pretty much it. You don't need to overcomplicate it. The second underlying principle is you have to assume attraction when you go in for the approach. Imagine it like you're already a 10 out of 10, even if you're not. And every girl who meets you is lucky to have met you. You have to go in with that confidence and assume that she likes you. Because what's the alternative? You don't lose anything by assuming she likes you, but you lose everything if you assume she doesn't. And I know a lot of these old school red pill guys will talk about choosing signals, and yeah, choosing signals do make life easier, but they're not necessary. And if she doesn't give you choosing signals, it doesn't mean she's not interested in you. The most easy way to find out if she's interested in you or not is by going up to her and talking to her and showing some intent. If she's not interested, she'll tell you there and then. And if she carries on talking to you, that's an indicator of interest that she's into you. If she's still there, she's still interested. She wants to get to know you. It's as simple as that, guys. And when you go in with that assumption that she likes you, from the girl's perspective, what she's thinking is, wow, this guy is super confident. The fact that he's confident means he's had success in the past, which means there's something about him. Let me find out more. That's what's going to engage the girl and make her want to stay. And the way you should be talking to her is as if you're already dating. Okay, now how to actually flirt. Step 1 is eye contact. None of this other stuff matters if your eye contact isn't on point. If you can't look at her in the eyes, it comes across as weird and inconfident. This is a big mistake I see a lot of guys making, and it's something that you could practice and work on. You don't only need to be doing this with girls, you should be doing this with everyone you speak to. And I know if you're not really social and this is new to you, it's gonna feel weird and uncomfortable for the first little bit, but I promise you it gets easier with practice. And the reason this is so important is because it shows the girl, oh, you're present and you're there. There could be stuff going on around you, you could be on a busy street, but if you've got solid eye contact, it calms her nerves down and it makes her feel more comfortable when she's speaking to you. Step number 2 is vibing. This involves bantering and having an unserious, fun conversation with the girl. Like I said earlier, you should be talking with the girl as if you're already dating. Or another mental trick, it's gonna sound weird, but treat her like you treat one of your female cousins. What does that look like? Well, that means you're not gonna be afraid to tease her, to neg her, to have calm body language around her, and you'll be able to make jokes and not take her too seriously. And also, by assuming familiarity, you won't be as uptight and nervous and put so much pressure on the interaction. You can still have a logical framework of conversation, so the typical questions of, hey, what's your name? What do you do? All that stuff. But in between all those questions, you should be having some playful banter. Step 3 is conversational branching. So while we're in the conversation, there's plenty of things that she's gonna say or you're gonna say that are gonna be off interest or funny. What you wanna do is remember those things and call back to them later. The reason a lot of guys suck at this is because while they're speaking to the girl, they're not really thinking about what she's actually saying. They're more in their head and just thinking about what they're saying and not really paying attention to what's actually being said in the conversation. So instead of going from logical to logical to logical questions, which a lot of guys do because they're just nervous, you want to spend time in the middle of those questions. So for example, instead of going from what do you do? Do you go to school? Do you work? To what do you do for a job? Straight away, in between that, there's so much area for making that conversation more fun. So when she says, oh yeah, I work, you could be like, oh wait, don't tell me, let me guess. And then you can make some cold reads. For example, you could be like, okay, so you seem a little bit bossy, so I'm gonna say some managerial type of role. And by doing those cold reads, you're giving her more to comment on as well. And you're also making the conversation more fun and giving the conversation those emotional spikes which are needed to keep the conversation engaging. And then later on in the conversation, when you're talking about, I don't know, for example, I had to leave my family home because I was just arguing with my mom too much, you could be like, oh yeah, that makes sense because of the whole bossy thing, right? And that's pretty much it, guys. So to summarize again, number one is you want to show some intent. And number two is you want to assume attraction when you go for the approach. And then the main three steps are eye contact, vibing, and conversational branching / callback humor. That's pretty much how I flirt, and it's not too complicated. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe. If you need more help with this, click the link in my description to book a free one-on-one discovery call with me, or we can discuss how we can help you completely transform your social skills and dating life within the next 1 to 3 months. I hope you liked this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.